You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz.
Yes, that's how I mic check. Check, baby, 1, 2, 3, 4. Check, baby, 1, 2, 3. It's called the Rump Shaker.
Yeah.
Saucy and Friends in the morning. Spark FM online, #1 for urban and Caribbean music. We are here. It is raining. It is snowing. There was some hail.
Yes.
It is windy. It is cold. It is all the things that says everybody should be in their house, in their bed.
I was like, what in the hell?
In the hell.
What's going on?
Put a boom. Ching.
It was so windy, right? That we came out of the house this morning, and the house next door to us, all the siding is blown off of the house.
Oh, Lord.
So Noah was like, Mommy, look, that house is falling apart. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it is falling apart. And he goes, at least our house is made of brick, so the wind can't blow it down.
Amen, preacher.
That's right, hallelujah. We built on the
wise man,
the solid rock.
The wise man built his house upon a rock.
Yes, hallelujah.
That's what I know.
And then when he was trying to close the car door, the wind blew the car door and he couldn't close the door. I had to get out the car and go around and help him close the door.
There was the gate next door in the little yard that we have next door. That completely fell down.
Really?
Yeah. So last night, did you guys hear the howling wind, rains, and wind?
Girl.
Did you feel it? I felt it.
Me too, because I live in the attic. So my house, or by up there, it kind of sways a little bit.
Child, I was prepared to touch the hem of his garment last night.
Wow.
Because I was like, he's coming soon.
So I was mad nervous because I medicate at night, and then I was watching BMF, and that was intense.
Ooh,
and then I have a new
that
dog.
last episode?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Then I got a new dog, so I thought that he was gonna be stressed out during the rains and the winds. So I'm sitting there listening out, and I'm like, damn, I'm gonna have to sit up here with him all night. That dog didn't budge. He went to sleep the whole morning. I had to wake him up this morning. He was like, I don't got the time. I'm tired. I be causing misery and strife all day.
He was like, this is my element.
And then when we went out today, I didn't notice that there was actual snow on the ground.
Yeah.
When did that happen?
Right.
There was snow where?
There was snow like on the ground, like on the grass. There was
we were
snow.
driving and there was lots of ice looking stuff, and I was like, is that snow?
Yeah, it was. It is absolutely snow.
Yeah.
Absolutely snow.
Yeah.
And it is April. Yeah. It is April the 3rd.
At least we don't live on the coast. I was telling Tony this morning, the people that live on the coast, they're expecting high tide and a lot of erosion and stuff like that going on.
Speaking of, did you watch 911? Have you been watching 911?
911 cannot start the season as such.
Man,
it can't do it.
When the big wave was coming over,
I did.
I'm like, because we've been doing like a cruise a year.
So that's what I said too when I was watching it. I said, if anybody hasn't taken a cruise before and they watch this, I would never get on a boat.
Yeah.
And I said, I might not get on another one after that because that's crazy.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
It was wild. It was wild. If y'all don't watch 911, watch 911. It's crazy. It's an amazing show. Lots and lots of seasons, but that's good. Speaking of lots of seasons, I saw that Grey's Anatomy was renewed for another
It's like on
season.
It's like season 30. Between Grey's Anatomy and SVU,
Right.
I'm not sure who's in contending for the longest series of all times in my life.
But the best comment I saw was somebody was like, give them their doctorate. They've been doctors for longer than doctors been doctors. Like, come on. That's true. It's crazy. Lots of good stuff. I got caught up on BMF as well. So finally, I started over last week from season 1.
Oh, wow.
Plowed through it. So I am caught up. Have watched everything now. I know what's going on in that show.
Good morning to everybody on the check-in. We see you guys all checking in. Good morning. Live,
Hey,
Opal, Larry, Mike Nice, Uncle Grandpa. Oh, never. It should be a law. No immigrants on cruises. We already made it. Why? But, Larry.
Yo, why can't
Larry Jordan. Let's
Larry
start
Jordan
this
is the
morning so
anti-cruise
early.
He started that from yesterday.
Foolishness.
His Never Go on Cruise campaign.
Boy, I tell you.
What was I gonna say? So this question that I have for y'all, I want something to think about because it's Think Out Loud on Thursday, right? Do you put on your socks before or after your jeans?
Before.
After.
Really?
Socks and shoes is the very last thing that I put on.
There's
Like I'll be fully
don't
dressed
put your
with
underwear on first.
I put my drawers and my bra on first and I layer them, but the socks and my shoes, like I'll walk around fully dressed with no socks and shoes on.
So you put your socks on as part of your underwear?
Yeah.
Oh,
My t-shirt,
you too?
my
No.
underwear, my socks.
I'm very much last with my socks. The socks are last. But answer that in the comments. Do you put on your socks first or before or after you put on your pants?
Yeah, I want to know that. That's very
Chris said,
interesting.
what if you don't wear drawers and socks? Stop it.
Not in this weather.
Socks, you better be wearing socks and drawers.
It's frozen. It is freezing.
Yeah, you know what? The worst thing for me is to have my ankles be cold. Oh, that is awful. I don't like that. Or in this weather to have your ankles out and the ankles get wet.
They definitely calling the people on me today because CK could not find his school sneakers, so we had to he has on Crocs today, and I was like, they gonna call the people.
Can they wear Crocs to school?
Yeah.
Oh, because at Noah's school they can't wear Crocs. Remember, I got a call one day.
Well, that's because he's in full uniform though.
He was in the office. It was on a Friday.
Oh, and he still can't wear Crocs?
Can't wear Crocs.
Wow.
It's a safety hazard.
Oh.
Hey, all y'all behave this morning.
What they say? When you get home, do you take your pants off? Oh, show.
Oh. I see what you did there. Yo.
Oh. Schneider.
I cannot.
Schneider, you've got to go. Schneider, 2 weeks for you. You're banned for 2 weeks from the comment section.
I hear Schneider though because my pants is probably the first thing.
But you didn't see what he did though.
What did he say?
He said, when you get home, do you take your pants and jack it off?
Oh. Schneider, behave. It's early in the morning. And Schneider looks so innocent. So innocent looking.
Anyhow, people, for the interest of time, we had some nice tunes this morning, some nice old school tunes by Rockstones Triz, and now we're gonna get completely into the show. So Saucy and Friends officially starts right now. Do we do a check-in?
We did half of a check-in.
Yeah.
I don't have nothing to check in, but yesterday we did have a nice meeting though.
We did. That was a nice meeting. It's a very inspiring.
It was. It's so good to see progress. You know, I really, really like that. I'm doing fine. I did nothing last evening. Mommy came over and hung out for a little bit, and that was that. And that was it. It was nice.
I love it.
Yeah.
With that said, people, let's get into the show. Saucy and Friends officially starts right now. Let's go.
You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz.
Call Spark FM at 617-272-3387. Advertise your business, brand, or music on Spark FM. Contact us at sparkfmonline.com for more information. Broadcasting live worldwide. This is Spark FM.
Boop, 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 boop. I did have to say something. Yesterday, Spark FM received one of the City of Boston space grants. So shout out to us. That means that gives us an opportunity to fully move into our new space, decorate it, construct it, do everything. Big shout out to the City of Boston. Shout out to all of the winners yesterday, or all of the grantees. Yes, recipients of the space grant yesterday. There are about 39 businesses ranging from childcare to food services to studios, gyms, salons. Big shout out to Shanita from Naughty Girls, Flowers, the B-Side, all kinds of really great people. A lot of my good friends. Well, yeah, a couple of my good friends. Shout out to all of them who won Oasis Vegan Parlor. There was many people that won this space grant that is allowing these business.
Good.
Yep.
Because they were closed.
They closed for a little bit, so I'm hoping that this grant is able to allow them to get back open, because we still don't necessarily have an all vegan food place here, right?
No.
Yeah.
We have a couple of vegan food makers, but we do not have vegan food restaurant type of places. I could be wrong. Besides Rhythm and Raps out in Alston, which is technically Boston, I guess. And then there, besides Oasis, we really don't have. That would be one of y'all out there better fill out some grants to get another vegan spot out here. There should be a lot more because it is something that more and more people are doing, and we want to make sure that you guys stay healthy and you have options.
Need to fill out something, get some grants so that Naughty Girls can hire everybody else to run her show and cook in a vegan restaurant.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
That is very true.
Yeah.
That is very true.
People that.
Yes, we have a little footage here of our nice award yesterday. These are the businesses that got it. It was a nice little ceremony. The mayor came out and her cabinet. That was very nice. Over $4 million was given out in this round of space grants. So big shout outs to everybody who won. That was really kind of special. Excited for those people, and I'm excited to see what they're gonna do with it. Yes, Larry, you can get a no soup in the hood. It's mad soup in the hood, you know, Larry.
Where?
But you should get a soup. You got to go to the to Brothers down here at Brothers Market on Dudley Street. They got a very, very hearty and nice soup on different days. A beef soup, chicken soup, all kind of soup.
I had a jerk chicken soup from Flames one time.
The hell is a
really
jerk
good.
chicken soup?
It was very, very spicy, but I was sick, so it did what it needed to do.
It did what it do. All right, today is Thursday, April 4th. It's approximately 9:30 in the a.m. and you are
Thursday
tuned into
already.
Spark FM Online. Today, windy early with periods of rain and snow throughout the day. Some sleet may mix in. Temps nearly steady in the mid to upper 30s. Ain't nobody want no steady wind and rain at mid to upper 30s.
Not at all.
Winds in the northeast from 25 to 35 miles per hour. Chance of rain is all day. It's gonna rain all day.
100%.
Oh, 100. It say 90%. I'ma just go ahead and give it the extra 10 and 100%. And let's get into the around the way news. Schools in East Boston alerted after reports of person with a rifle.
Yeah.
In East Boston, officers responded to Linden Street Wednesday afternoon and didn't find anyone with a firearm. They are still on scene as of 4 p.m. yesterday. Multiple East Boston schools were put on alert Wednesday afternoon when a person was seen with a rifle in the neighborhood. A rifle is a long one, ain't it?
Yes.
Interesting. Yes. Multiple East Boston schools. Boston police said that they responded around 2:30 p.m. to the 200 block of Linden Street near the Orient Heights Blue Line MBTA stop. No one was found with a rifle. The Curtis Guild Elementary School on Linden Street and the Bradley Elementary School on Beachview Road were temporarily placed in safe mode. Boston Public Police spokesperson Max Baker said. So nothing came of it. They weren't able to find anybody who saw the person with the rifle, and why didn't they tell people in which direction it went? Because how you see a person with a rifle, and by the time you call the police, the person in the rifle is gone.
It's gone.
Where does it go? Where'd it go?
Where?
Gunshots in American cities twice as likely as at night. Well, yes, right. That's a duh.
Yeah.
I mean, what? Like, duh. Study finds gunshots in American cities twice as likely at night, potentially disrupting sleep for those in earshot. Yes, it is. Researchers from Mass General Brigham analyzed timing and location of gunshots in 6 of the most populated U.S. cities: Baltimore, Boston, Washington, D.C., New York, Philadelphia, and Portland, Oregon.
Portland,
Really?
Oregon is with the high. I think don't they have like the highest depression rate too? So that doesn't surprise me.
Oh, wow.
Who does?
Portland,
Why?
Oregon, because it's so dark and rainy up there.
Oh, like Seattle?
Like Seattle.
Did Seattle have a heavy violence too?
Suicide and depression.
Oh, yeah. I don't know anybody would go there. It's very dreary. Sleepless in Seattle.
Sleepless.
The team estimates that annually, approximately 12.5 million person per night. The number of nights of gunshots multiplied by the number of people in earshot are impacted by nighttime gunshots, and those that were more common in low-income areas in each city. The noise of nighttime gunshots may have recognized and underappreciated effects on sleep and health for people living in surrounding communities. Well, duh. I'm going to say duh right off the bat because we know that. You know, like living in the city, you know that you're going to hear an influx of ambulance, influx of gunshots and or fireworks, some screaming, loud people walking the park, yelling at their girlfriends at the top of their lungs. I listened to I was walking, boy, I was walking, that boy was screaming at the top of his lungs. He was like, you always do that. And blah, blah. I was like, you gonna hurt your little throat box, screaming at her. Your little gully poo. That's what I say, man. So we're not gonna get into that. What we will get into later, our special guest for the day, we have the Embrace Boston organization coming in to talk to us about the harm report, which probably is connected in some type of way to this research report about things that are going on, connecting the past to the future. So we'll get into that. We'll dig into this. So this article is not completely duh, but we want to unpack it a little bit. So we'll unpack it when we have the Embrace people come in here to talk to us about that amazing harm report that was conducted. Keeping it moving, a Quincy man pleads guilty to hate crime after hitting a man with his car. Is this an update to? I don't know. This is a 78-year-old John Sullivan threatened to kill a Vietnamese family outside a Quincy post office and told them to go back to China.
Yeah.
The 78-year-old Quincy man.
Like, this is what I'm saying. You don't even know. You sound stupid.
You gotta tell the whole Quincy to go back to China.
To Vietnam. A 78-year-old Quincy man pleaded guilty to committing a hate crime after hitting a man twice with his car and yelling anti-Asian threats. John Sullivan pleaded guilty to one count of violating the Shepherd Bird Hate Crimes Prevention Act. He was accused of shouting, "Go back to China," at a Vietnamese family, including 3 children under the age of 12, and hitting a man from the family with his car outside of Quincy Post. Yeah. The funny thing is that this man is currently in a wheelchair.
The man who hit them?
The man who hit them is currently in a wheelchair.
Oh, wow.
You got to pick your battle, sir. A federal grand jury indicted Sullivan on the hate crime charge in February of 2023. Sullivan initially pleaded not guilty to civil rights assault and reckless driving charges in Quincy District Court in 2022. He was released on conditions after the incident, including home confinement and no driving. According to court documents, the district court charges against Sullivan were dropped in March of 2023. Why? Right. So in 2022, Desiree Thien told the Globe that she, her 3 children, and her brother George were outside of a post office on Washington Street in Quincy one morning. Prosecutors said Sullivan threatened to kill the family and told them to go back to China.
Why?
Because wickedness is real. What? Bad mind is real.
It is.
After a verbal altercation, Sullivan hit George with his car. George clung to the hood while Sullivan drove about 200 yards. George fell off the car and Sullivan hit him again. George then fell into a nearby construction ditch. Sullivan allegedly fled the scene. The DA's office said at the time, George suffered a broken shoulder, a concussion, and an injury to his leg. The actions of John Sullivan are appalling and a sad reflection of intolerance and hate that is far too prevalent in our society.
John Sullivan, ain't that the whitest
boy,
name?
I tell you.
Wow.
Sullivan will be sentenced this September to a maximum of 10 years in prison, 3 years of supervised release, and a fine of up to $250,000.
Damn.
Yeah, he sure is.
Yeah. That's awful. You gotta play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Why did he do that?
Yeah.
Why were you harassing those people?
You was at the end leg of your life.
Yeah.
Literally.
You
and now you
decided
ain't
to
got
show
no
your
legs.
racist ass.
And now you in a wheelchair and you got to go to jail because you can't shut up and mind your business. Yep. Were they bothering you, John Sullivan?
Mr. Sullivan.
Mr. Sullivan is completely out of order, and these are things that I don't
understand. You have brought shame to yourself and your family name.
Shame. I'm laughing because you stupid. Because why you do that?
Why?
That's crazy. Man who just wanted to sell some sneakers was pistol whipped, then pushed out of his own car by Harbor Point Apartments, Dorchester.
Yo, you gotta be careful in the world. You gotta be careful.
UMass Boston police sent out an alert that a man was carjacked at Harbor Point late this afternoon by somebody who had contacted him over Snapchat, allegedly to buy sneakers for him. According to the bulletin, the victim pulled up his car, and the alleged buyer got in and then assaulted him with a handgun, stole his vehicle, and fled towards someplace else. Boston police responded to the scene at 66 Peninsula Plains. What's the PL? Place. After about 5 p.m., the stolen vehicle was reported as a gray 2014 Honda Pilot. The attacker was described as mixed race with short dreadlocks and wearing a purple jacket with a hoodie. His gun was black with an extended barrel. Oh, wow. This is the second time in a week somebody trying to sell something was robbed in Boston. On March 29, police report a person who was robbed at 330 Rutherford Street in Charlestown by a man who had agreed to meet there to consummate a purchase arranged on Facebook Marketplace. So this is why I'm always stressed out about my dad, because my dad is a habitual eBay, Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist purchaser and or seller. And he be going to random places at random times
in the dead of the night
to go sell some tires to somebody named John Sullivan.
Right.
And those are the things that makes me scared, because I'm like, you don't know what kind of people you are going out to meet. Maybe because he's a 3rd degree black belt, he thinks that he could defend himself.
And he puts on the armor of the Lord.
Amen. Hallelujah. Jesus saves. Amen. Under his eye.
So look here. The police have set up a safe exchange zone.
Oh, wow.
Good.
This area is under 24 hours video surveillance. And you guys can go, I'll put the link here, but you guys can go their local police district headquarters.
Oh, see what Super Roy said there.
What'd he say?
He needs to meet at the precinct. They do the transaction under camera for free.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm going to tell him that, because I really feel some type of way when my dad be like, oh, I'm going outside to go sell this box of nails.
No, he don't even tell us. He just disappears. That's what happened that night.
That's what happened. We sitting there talking about him all the time, going out to random places. Then he gonna go out to a random place, get his car all hit up, be out without a car for 3 months. Right. Sir, sit down.
Right.
Sit down. Go meet them at the police station.
Man, hustler mentality, man. I tell you.
Presley is kicking off her re-election campaign in Dorchester. Ayanna Presley, our good old congresswoman.
I love it.
Representative Ayanna Presley took the national stage after a historic upset that saw her oust a 10-term Democrat in 2018. She kept the national stage since as the first black woman elected to Congress from Massachusetts, a progressive member of the squad, and as a frequent partner with Senator Elizabeth Warren. Presley formally announced her re-election campaign for a 3rd term on Wednesday in what is already shaping up to be another uncontested race for the progressive.
Oh, good.
The 50-year-old congresswoman, she's 50.
Really?
She looked good. Beat the odds in 2018 when she toppled incumbent Somerville native Michael Capiano in the Democratic primary. Presley then ran unopposed in the primaries and general elections in 2020 and 2022. We stand with Congresswoman Ayanna Presley, and y'all should too. She's a righteous woman.
I imagine you said she 50, she look good. 50 ain't old. I'm almost 50.
You are not almost 50.
I'm 47.
You're 46. Why you gonna keep adding age to your age?
I'm on the. If I had to round up,
who does that? You don't add all the year.
You don't add. That. She just turned 46
right.
4 months ago, and now she's rounding up to 47. Now you're 50. That's
now
not
50.
That's not how counting works. CK.
If you had to round to the nearest 10, I'm 50.
The nearest 10 of 50. No, you cannot. I wanted to bring up a story in here that we had in our thing because you guys didn't put those in there. Simcoes, everybody, Simcoes.
Yay! I'm happy.
Why?
I'm not the only one that's happy because I've been telling y'all. I've been saying the same thing.
So state moves to seize Mattapan hot dog stand for non-payment of taxes. This has been going around for about a week now.
Yeah.
And I've been meaning to put it in the story. So the State Department of Revenue yesterday yesterday. This was
Day before yesterday.
So they actually closed it down.
Closed, yeah.
So this is a little older article from a couple of weeks ago, when they had first talked about the seizure. Seizure. The State Department of Revenue formally moved to seize Simcoe's on 1509 Blue Hill Ave in Mattapan for non-payment of $736,000 American U.S. currency dollars in taxes and interest. In a request filed in Suffolk Superior Court, the state says Simcoe's has tax debts dating back to 2019 in unpaid meals, withholdings, and family leave taxes, and that repeated efforts to get owner Nicholas Fotopoulos of Milton since August to even agree to a repayment schedule have far resulted in only $20,000 being paid from banks with which he has accounts. Simcoe's closed in Roslindale outlet a couple months ago, which was a big bummer to me too, because they did have some pretty good fish and chips on a Tuesday.
Yes.
On a Tuesday in particular.
Yes.
In 2022, it agreed to pay $195,000 to 20 employees. It had been paying less than even the federal minimum wage of $7.25. Goddamn Simcoe's!
This is what I'm saying. Like that, like that. How embarrassing.
Simcoe's.
Come on.
Simcoe's.
We accepted you, Simcoe's, into our hood and let y'all be here, and this is
But I've been telling y'all something. See the sign that's on the screen right here, the little old sign. When I was about
that's how I knew they didn't have no.
old, it was lit up. It
It's
ain't been lit up
historic.
since.
No, it could be historic. The sign don't gotta look like that. Because for a fact, I know the city of Boston, in which we reside, has a grant out for signs, for signage. All you got to do
Papadopoulos don't know nothing about that. He don't even pay his taxes. You think he gonna go to the city for anything?
Taking from the hood is
in a
stealing
case
from the
separate from the state in 2019, the city of Boston put an $18,000 lien on the Blue Hill Avenue property for non-payment of property taxes and moved to take the property, according to Registry of Deeds. The case remains in state land court with a hearing scheduled for May 23rd, and since then they have shut down, I believe. So my issue with this is that ain't nobody else here has came up with the good idea to sell very scrumptious and long hot dogs. So Simcoe's still
And long.
scrumptious and long. Simcoe's is notorious for its hot dogs, and on a late night when you just need a quick bite to eat, or if you're coming from church and the family's not cooking quick enough, you can stop at Simcoe's, get a little $5 hot dog, and it's very nice. It's very nice, and that's sad. And if you can't go to Simcoe's, where could you go?
Right. Where are we gonna go for a glizzy now?
Exactly.
Oh,
For a glizzy.
damn. Hobby Lee said that he never had a Simcoe.
She
never had a Simcoe.
Hobby, you ain't never had a Simcoe?
I know. And
Oh,
now
that's
you
terrible.
never will.
What makes it historic? It's historic, Larry, because it's been there for so long. That's a staple. That's a landmark.
Yeah.
That's a landmark of our community.
Rock City Pizza better buy that real quick.
Boy, Rock City Pizza gotta buy a lot of things.
Rock City
know,
Pizza gotta carry the hood
one
on
thing
his
I-
back, okay? Because we need you.
You know what I'm scared about happening? This is gonna happen now. Is that some big developer gonna come in and go,
make some condos.
They're gonna build
you know,
condos
that's
Yeah.
what's gonna
on that
happen.
bridge, and I
That's what's
hate
gonna
it.
happen.
I hate it.
Hate it.
I think that somebody
That's what I
should just another person, or maybe I'm not sure they're gonna be able to pay back their
They're
$718,000
not
worth.
gonna, where they gonna get it from? If they gotta close, where they gonna make the money from?
That's true. That's terrible. That is terrible news.
Shame.
Massachusetts council approves pardoning people with cannabis possession. So we talked about this a few weeks ago, but I guess they are moving forward with it. Massachusetts council approves pardoning people with misdemeanor cannabis convictions. A Massachusetts council on Wednesday approved Governor Maura Healey's plan to pardon tens of thousands of people convicted of misdemeanor marijuana charges going back decades. I'm free. Free my mans.
Free at last. Free at last.
Give it us free. The pardon approved by the Governor's Council will take effect immediately, although it will take some time to update state criminal records. Massachusetts made history today, Healy, a Democrat, said in a statement. Thousands of Massachusetts residents will now see their records cleared of charge, which will help lower the barriers they face when seeking housing, education, and or a job. Massachusetts joined several other states, including Rhode Island, Connecticut, Missouri, and Oregon in forgiving low-level marijuana offenders. The pardons will apply to all adults convicted prior to March 13 in state court for possession of marijuana or a Class D substance. Most people will not need to take any action to have their criminal records updated. According to Healy, the state also has set up an online page to request certificates confirming marijuana pardons. I want one.
That's good.
I've never been arrested for that. Or at all, but I would like to have a certificate.
So if you get a pardon, does that mean that it's not on your query and all of that?
Yeah,
too?
you're done.
Okay. Oh,
you're
that's
done.
beautiful.
You're done for.
Larry said my record was sealed after Dukin messed up. That mean you was one of the people that got a check?
You got a check,
from
Larry?
Dukin? You had a check from the state?
I know, because them people was getting large checks.
Oh Lord!
Go hit up my friend when I know how to check.
So yeah, and that pretty much concludes the Around the Way news for today. The RMV does warn that there's customers are getting scammed nationwide. Just a quick little story. The RMV is unable to process transactions online, in person, or over the phone due to a statewide outage, the department said on Wednesday morning. The Registry of Motor Vehicles is warning customers of scams amid a statewide outage, preventing the department from processing transactions. The RMV is unable to process any of those transactions. They posted at about 9:30 a.m. on Wednesday. In an alert on Wednesday, the RMV said that there has been no sharp increase in reports of scam websites, but noted that it is a busy time of the year for customer transactions. So everybody just be careful. It's open back now, I believe. So just, in all you do in life, proceed with caution.
What they scamming your driver's license for?
Maybe they make it another one so they can go on the airline like that one guy did when he stole the person's
little girl.
Yeah, stole their ID. Well, not their ID. Took a picture of they flight thing, and then went in there and then took all of the things out.
Yep.
That's what they did.
Oh, somebody said erase my tickets. Heck that shit and erase my tickets.
Yep, absolutely.
I agree.
Absolutely.
I got tickets.
With that said, people, we're going to take a very quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll be speaking to embrace.org. This is a really great, they are in charge of the wonderful monument that's out there in Boston Commons and doing a lot of great work. We'll be talking about the harm report. So when we come back, we'll be talking to them. So keep it locked right here. Saucy and Friends in the Morning on Spark FM Online.
You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the Morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz.
You are enjoying the miracle of radio.
Radio. New England's #1 urban Caribbean music. Radio. Spark FM.
JP Morgan Chase is making a global commitment to break down barriers to drive inclusive economic growth all over the world. We believe there is a pressing need to help more people move up the economic ladder. That is why we are investing in communities and people to create an economy that works for all, because no community should be left behind. Right here in Boston, we're focusing that work in Dorchester, Roxbury, and Mattapan, among other neighborhoods, on improving financial health. These efforts aim to address the key drivers of the racial wealth divide head on. We're here to empower individuals, families, and small businesses by connecting them to the tools that build generational wealth and a long-lasting legacy. Chase is investing in Boston. Chase is investing in you. Visit us at the Mattapan branch at 1617 Blue Hill Avenue, where the team is waiting to help.
Did you know that you can now get a standard Massachusetts driver's license regardless of your immigration status? To get help with your application, a list of all required documents, and nearby appointment scheduling, visit mass.gov/WFMA. Your license is your way forward, so why not get started today? Register now at mass.gov/WFMA or call 857-368-WFMA.
yourself as Boston All Fours League brings to you a back-in-time party like no other. Saturday, March 30th at Unity Sports and Cultural Club, 10 Dunbar Avenue, Dorchester, Mass. Doors open at 9 p.m. Music by Golden Eye and DJ Tyra's the president. You're gonna hear music like this and music like this and music like this. All the hits from the past. Saturday, March 30th. For more information, call 617-947-0902. That's 617-947-0902. This one is gonna be a movie. My name is Fafa, and I'm gonna see you there.
Must-read step-by-step guide that will equip any first-time homebuyer with the knowledge they need to confidently make informed decisions. This book provides answers in simple and clear terms to most, if not all, of the questions you may have about credit, home ownership, and generational wealth. Finally Home equips the reader with the confidence to be engaged with the home buying process without feeling vulnerable or exploited. Tailor-made Real Estate Easy is not just a catchy hashtag. It is real estate agent and radio personality Taylor Andre's goal. A goal to simplify one of the most challenging processes you will go through as an adult. A goal to educate you properly on credit and teach you the strategies to finding the home of your dream. It is not just a good book or an easy read. It is the secret to a seamless home buying experience.
The war on drugs has harmed millions of people and disproportionately subjected Black and brown communities to criminalization and incarceration, disrupting access to resources, education, and support. To learn more about Massachusetts policies and programming ensuring the legal cannabis industry is equitable and positively impacts communities harmed by marijuana prohibition and enforcement, visit masscannabiscontrol.com/equity.
Spark FM.
Wizzy boy, make me dance. Daddy, oh, make me dance.
Igniting the airwaves. Spark FM. Join us on Facebook and Instagram at sparkfmonline.com. Turn us up.
Tell me how you own it, yeah. Call me and I'm over.
Spark FM.
This might have to be my karaoke song. I think so. I think this is
the lyrics for this song. Oh, nice.
When we have special guests, that's when I get my when I really find my voice, because I want to impress them with my singing. I'm not sure if our guest is quite pleased as of yet, but but by the time that by the time this interview is over, he will be trying to sign me to now do all of the special music.
Embrace Records.
Yes. Write that down. Write that down.
It was founded today.
Yes, today on this rainy day. Today, if you're wondering who that voice is in the background, we have Dr. Imari Paris Jeffries, who is the director and CEO of Embrace Boston, well, the president and CEO of Embrace Boston. Welcome and good morning.
Thank you for having me here.
Drop a bomb for him, Tristan. Drop a bomb for him. Yes.
I'm in my own sound effects with me.
I like that when our people come here and they just start making their own sound effects.
That's called noise machine in my pocket.
Teamwork. So welcome to Spark FM Online. This is the first time we have you in here. It's been a long time coming. So thank you for coming in. Tell us who you are.
Imari Paris Jeffries. I'm at Embrace Boston. This is my neighborhood, and so Spark is in my neighborhood. So it was great to be here and to have this station in my community, in my neighborhood. Congratulations to y'all. I know that you just got one of the space grants for the city, and I think it just shows the importance of narrative and storytelling that you do here. And so thank you for all that you do for the community.
I appreciate you. And today we are talking about community. We're talking about history. We're talking about the present. We're talking about a lot of different things. You guys are in charge of the big monument. I know a lot of us, we talked about it when it first launched, and we passed it the other day. It was like, yeah, let's go pass it. I have many, many pictures under there. Beautiful. Tell us how things been since you've been in this role of Embrace.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm excited and honored to be here today. This is the anniversary of the assassination of Dr. King. And so to have me here talking about the Embrace, this memorial to honor his legacy, his time in Boston. This is where their love story began. I think people don't know that. I think a lot of people think that Dr. and Mrs. King met in Mississippi or Alabama or Atlanta. Yep, right. They met here. He was at Boston University. She was at New England Conservatory. Their first date was in the Common, and so their love story began here. Their legacy, their family's origin story is in Boston. So we're proud that we got to memorialize them.
Maybe I should go to the Commons. I might find me a husband. That's what I'm gonna do.
You gotta get hooked up.
I gotta meet him first.
The quality of husbands that are hanging out in the Commons now.
Yeah, you might not want those husbands. You don't want those husbands. Maybe.
Yes, I figured that if I stand under the Embrace, make a wish or something like that. That's what's supposed to happen.
Saying that, going to visit the Embrace at night is probably a really nice date.
Yeah,
we went at night, and it was like amazing. And I was like, I can't imagine what this would feel like in the daytime because you feel it more so than visualizing it. So it's awesome. I did have things to say about it when it first came out.
The pictures don't do it justice.
Yeah, it does. And the angles
really don't.
Angles don't do it justice.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Some of it was funny, especially the baby boy being ranged in the headlock scene. I was like, I can see it.
Yes. But again,
but to see it,
up close, and you see the detail in it, and all of that, it's really very, very awesome.
Just very beautiful.
Yeah,
it's humongous as well.
Oh yeah.
This harm report now, just kind of diving right into it. The harm report. Tell us a little bit about the harm report. Well, before we get into that, tell us what Embrace does.
Yeah, so Embrace is an art and culture and research policy center centered on anti-racism, centered on belonging, and centered on Boston, right? And so those three things and community, those are what Embrace's work is. And so people know us for activations. We have the Embrace Ideas Festival. We have the Embrace Honors MLK celebration. We're starting this Latino Embrace con Salsa Latino Music Festival during Latino Heritage Month. So there's activations. Part of those activations is to build belonging, and there's a lot of other amazing things happening in the city. BAMS Fest is one of the ones, Roxbury Film Fest, Jerk
Even
Fest,
your sneaker
Caribbean
fest,
our sneaker event. And so we try to bring people together through activation and art. We hire artists, musicians, culture creators to help curate those spaces. And then we also do research and policy and narrative. And so we do films, we have a podcast, we do narrative through research, and so the Harm Report is our newest research endeavor.
And what is the Harm Report?
And so when I guess I'll start from one space. When King returned to Boston in 1965, April 23rd, 1965, he led the largest civil rights rally in New England. 22,000 people marched from Carter Playground in Roxbury to where the Embrace is located. And so there were 4 issues in 1965 that King and others, Ruth Batson and Reverend Virgil Woods, Alan Gardner and others, organized this march. They were poverty, racial equity, housing, and education. And so those
literally
were the 4
same
issues.
things that we're dealing
literally
with now.
Literally the 4 issues.
Yeah.
And so the Harm Report is a updated version of those 4 issues and others. And so we took the Harm Report framing from 2 national organizations, NCOBRA, which is the National Coalition of Blacks for Reparations, and NARC, which is another national organization that's focused on reparations. And so when reparations occurs, those 8 injury areas will be where the redress happens. And so we wanted to identify those 8 areas And so when reparations occurs nationally, when reparations occurs locally, we will probably see those areas as where Black people will see some sort of compensation, either through access or resources, or in some cases, cash.
So reparations, when Shagun Idowu, Chief Shagun Idowu was in here not too long ago, we had a really great conversation about reparations and the reparations task force and, you know, people that are really doing the heavy research when it comes to this. How does this report connect to there? Is there any type of collaboration efforts in there, or this leading to the research in part that they need to have?
Yeah, so we were part of one of the few, you know, there were several background organizations and individuals that were responsible for getting that task force passed. And so Embrace was one of those organizations working in the background to ensure that the commission happened, the task force happened. And so the harm report is almost like a precursor. And so they hired two phenomenal researchers to frame a more contemporary, modern version of how reparations would occur in the city of Boston.
Yeah.
The harm report is just a precursor, just to get people thinking about where the redress would occur, where the injury areas for Black people have happened in the city of Boston. It's a lit review, and so we use publicly available sources to say, hey, Black people have been injured in these 8 injury areas. For the harm report, we only talk about 7. In one of our earlier reports, we talk about how climate, and we were joking around about that earlier today. Climate is one of the injury areas that Black people have suffered, but that's not
in the, because I see there's 7. There's 7. There's culture and symbols, housing, transportation, education, criminal legal systems, health, income, and wealth, and you would add that 8th of climate.
And so there's an earlier report that we did with the Green Ribbon Commission that's on our website that just talks about climate. And so we didn't think that we needed to use any page space to talk about something we already had dedicated a whole report on. And so that's why these are just the 7 of the 8 injury areas.
In these injury areas, what was some of the most alarming and or interesting or engaging, impactful results that you did find out of the research?
Yeah, you know, and I think what you guys do is a part of that, addressing that injury area for this city, for Boston to be one of the country's oldest cities, one of the country's oldest Black communities. For us to not have the type of media presence in a city this size, with a city of this many Black folks, in a city that has 51% people of color, is part of the injury areas, is part of the atrophy of our voices, our newspapers, our media, our narrative. And so I think you work in that space, like Embrace, right? And so, you know, one of the things before Shagun became chief of economic development in the city of Boston at Beckman, he talked about the fact that we only had less than 10 Black restaurants that have liquor licenses. And so when you don't have a liquor license, you know, that's where we go to, you know, you don't have to drink to go out, but what it means is that there's a full array of services in a restaurant, so that we can, and that's how restaurants sustain themselves, through alcohol sales. And so without that liquor license, they can't sustain themselves. And so for a city this large, for us to be the 4th largest, to have less than 10, right? And I think that culture, symbols, and personhood is part of that area. And just to also think about all the famous Black people, from Crispus Attucks to Barack Obama, that have been to Boston, MLK, that have lived in Boston. The lack of monuments and memorials that represent our culture in the city. And so, you know, people don't know this. Beacon Hill is one of America's oldest Black neighborhoods, right? 12th Baptist Church. There's no 12th Street in Roxbury. There's no Charles Street in Roxbury. So those churches used to be in Beacon Hill. And so they moved through this migration. We have a report on that about Black migration in Boston. And so we have been pushed out from Beacon Hill to Central Boston, South Boston, to Roxbury, and now most of us live in Hyde Park, Stoughton, Randolph, Milton, Brockton.
Our target areas. I always tell people the places that gentrification has pushed us to, that's also where our listeners come from.
I was talking to my mom the other day, and I was like, there's so many Black people who are like, when they're looking to buy homes, are moving out to like Attleboro and South Attleboro, like further into like Rhode Island areas and out of Boston now.
Yeah, Brockton is one of its, you know, the largest Black city in Massachusetts.
Which is interesting because there's no monuments out there either, you know. So, and I'm guessing that is the reason why it was so important to put that one down in Boston Commons. You do also have goals of putting others. I know coming in Roxbury, you guys are part of the the P3.
Right, and so I think there's an opportunity for that to be the cultural area it once was, and so the Greater Roxbury, the GRAC Arts Center is going to be there. The National Embrace Center is going to be there, and so there'll be two larger venues for folks. We plan to build a food court, a music hall, and a museum in that area. GRAC is a larger performing arts center. And so Roxbury will be, again, the artistic center of Black Boston and Boston in general within a few years.
As it should be. It should have been a long time ago. Going back a little bit, what if you were to describe reparations, starting from like a basic fundamental idea, what are reparations and how would that help us?
Yeah, William Daugherty in his book From Here to Reparations says that reparations is a 3-part process. He refers to it as an arc, right? Acknowledgement, redress, and closure. And so, and I tell people like this, right? Like a lot of times if you're married or dating someone and you get into an argument, and they like chocolates. You might get in an argument, you go get the chocolates, you give them the chocolates, y'all don't talk about the argument, y'all make up.
Listen, sweep that under.
You sweep it under.
Yes.
Right? And so for years we've been doing that in this country. We don't acknowledge why we're in this predicament in the first place. We don't acknowledge the disparities that Black people have experienced. We try to come up with solutions or programs. Those are the flowers, those are the chocolates.
Band-aids.
The Band-aids, right? But we don't ever acknowledge that, right? And so if you do that in your relationship, you find yourself sleeping on the couch, and then you find yourself with a crick in your neck because you slept on the couch, and now your neck hurts. And so our country has a crick in its neck.
Yeah.
Because we haven't acknowledged the injustices that have occurred to Black folks. We always want to come to solutions. So this acknowledgement part is important. The redress is the next step, right? You figure out, you talk about, you acknowledge what was wrong. You try to right those wrongs through the redress, and then you close it.
Yeah.
Right. And so the process should not take forever. Right. And so it's like an argument that lingers on, and people when you're arguing with people.
Some people don't like to acknowledge.
They like to acknowledge. Right. So it needs to be under a fixed period of time. And so within Daugherty talks about 18 months. This whole process should occur. 24, 36 months. Where we should come up with some sort of solution in that time, and so it should not take forever.
However, it's taken very, very long, very, very long. Yeah. How would reparations put us on a level playing field, and who would reparations go to?
Yeah, well, that's the hard question. I might not answer that, right? Right. So there's about $14.2 trillion owed to Black folks in this country. Period. $14.2 trillion owed to Black folks.
And we just giving it out everywhere else, but to the Black folk.
And so, I think from my perspective, descendants of formerly enslaved people in the United States should be the first in line for reparations.
Yeah.
I think America has been a country that has been racism to Black people in general. And so I think anyone who's experienced state-sanctioned racism should also be eligible for reparations.
In round two.
Yeah. Right?
That's all of us. That's it.
And that's all of us.
Yeah.
But we really have a debt to pay to descendants of formerly enslaved people. And it's a federal conversation. I was born in North Carolina. My people are from North Carolina. We enter the country through South Carolina, through my ancestry. And so the reparations owed to my family should come from North and South Carolina, not from Boston, right? Even though I can trace my ancestry to being formerly enslaved, I don't think the city of Boston, if we were talking about reparations for formerly enslaved folks, should occur from Massachusetts. It should occur from North Carolina. But if we're talking about federal reparations, if that's how we're doing it, then anyone, there's no order to it, right? And I think right now, the state or the city task force and hopefully the state commission will do some case making for us to have a reparations conversation nationally. And we're not there yet, but we do need cities and states as a part of these dominoes to start having this conversation nationally. And we're just not there. California, Illinois, there are some places that have done this. Providence has a commission. New Jersey has a commission. And so this is part of this tipping point.
So the conversation is happening. It is happening.
It is happening nationally,
and it's not just amongst us anymore.
Right, and it's not federal. Right,
Okay.
it's not a federal conversation yet. It's happening on state and cities.
Okay.
And how close do you think that Massachusetts in particular is to moving the needle? Because although the conversation is now, I know that Massachusetts has a lot of different entities looking at this. There's a lot of people doing a lot of research, task force, harm report, so many things. How close are we to coming up with some type of solidified, at least, preliminary, this is what we can and should do, this is how much we can do it, and this is why we need to do it?
I think we're pretty close to getting the data from the two reports. I think the difficult part for the city of Boston is that while we have a significant black population, we have a smaller population of black folks who are descendants of formerly enslaved people. We have a lot of folks immigrants from the Caribbean or from Africa, and so and we talked about it in one of our other reports that while we have a large Afro Latinos, we have a large black population or significant black population. It's a diverse black population. Unlike in Atlanta, unlike a Houston, or some southern cities, it's not predominantly made up of foundational American blacks, right? And so I think that's where it gets tricky here, because if we're starting from formerly folks who are descendants of formerly enslaved folks, it should be folks who are descendants of formerly enslaved folks from Boston first. First, period.
And that's such a small pool.
And that's a small pool.
Yeah.
Then the rest of us, right? And so I think people the reparations for who is going to be the tough question for us to resolve, because I think all of us are owed something, right? Because we've experienced state sanctioned racism. It's just a matter of the sequence in which the redress occurs.
We all displaced. A lot of us have experienced displacement.
And I can't even think what I was going to say while you was talking. How will it help us now? Right now. Like if tomorrow the report came out that this is what we're going to do, how would it level us?
Yeah, I think the way in which our country allows people to be sustainable is through wealth.
Yeah. Let me rephrase it, because I know, so we're coming from if we're thinking about the people in the black and brown communities, usually think about disparities when it comes to jobs, when it comes to education, and when it comes to so many things. And I do believe that a lot of times, and especially in these conversations, we're very uneducated about how we should use the money, what we should do with it. You give people a bunch of money, oftentimes they're not really kind of sure of how to make that money turn into generational wealth. How would that help the people now, and what would be needed, I guess, inside of giving reparations that they would have to be more aware of to know what to do? What is the education level, or what is the training that we need in order to receive this?
Yeah, I mean, I think the a lot of times many of us grew up with no money.
Yes.
And we made it work. And so I think one thing that black people don't need is training on how to manage money. We're really good at that. We just haven't had it, right? And so we tend to make a little bit of money stretch, paying our bills, making sure we get new shoes.
Put something on it.
We always do that.
Yeah.
And I think for us, it's been a conversation of access. We just haven't had enough to use. And enough to have to actually survive and thrive in society.
And I think that's what I guess I'm relating it to on almost like entrepreneurship. When I first started this, getting an influx of revenue into the business, it's like, okay, I got it now. What do I do? So you're cautious at the same time. You know that you need to manage it right, but then sometimes you let things kind of slide, or you might get into a habit of, just kind of paying a little extra for something when you're not really managing it to the point of budgeting. And that's usually what I get afraid of, is that I never want us to get a super advantage and not know how to make it do what it do, like make it stretch in order to either buy housing. People don't really even have bank accounts. There's still a lot of people are still hiding money in places, or using things like Susu and different things like that in order to, get a little jump on, or a little a little ahead. And when it comes to reparations and having an influx of money, I just want to make sure that we are very properly ready to receive that, and that the history and that the data shows us where we should invest said money. And I guess that's what I'm looking for, the support around reparations.
Yeah, and I think, and one of the things they did in Evanston, Illinois is that this first round of reparations is for home ownership down payments.
Yes.
So it might be specific.
Yeah.
That might be a way. And I think like the next step after the allocation of reparations should be, again, part of this truth and reconciliation process. Like, how do you want to be repaired, right?
Yes,
and
yeah.
I think it'll probably be diverse. I think the injury areas, again, they're not a solution, but to frame where the repair might happen. And I think, I think there's people all over the country thinking of solutions, because I think to your point, how do you operate in this new framework if you've never had it before, right?
Yeah.
And without making mistakes, and because we've not had chances, we've oftentimes as Black folks, we haven't had many chances. And Greg and I were talking about that earlier. We haven't had many chances, and you're afraid to make mistakes. And sometimes that holds you back, or you make mistakes, and you're finished. And so I think that process of how we disperse reparations, how it is used to benefit all of us, how it's used to make us whole, I think that's probably part of the acknowledgement part, and then part of the redress piece.
There was acknowledgement, redress, and closure.
Arc.
How? Let's get into that one. Closure arc.
Closure, and that's at the end, when you arguing, like, stop bringing up old stuff.
Yeah.
Right? You're bringing up
we
stuff
passed that now.
from when we were dating. And so, like, I think the closure piece is where it's important, right? This cannot go on forever, right? And so when the redress happens, it needs to happen, and it needs to be used so that we can move forward. And so the closure addresses the moving forward. Like, how do we leave this chapter behind and build upon it? And so it just cannot be this ongoing, again, argument or redress. Like, how many times am I going to have to say sorry for being late to pick you up on that date? Like, am you going to still be holding me to that, right? And so I think that is a part of the process. We got to close this out. Like, people have to be made whole. Can't be 10 years, 15 years. Like, we make this decision. We need to move on. So
pushback. How do you deal with racism when it also comes to reparations? Because we know that there's a lot of people, our counterparts, feel that I wasn't your slave, and I didn't enslave you, so why should I pay you, or why do you need it, that your grandparents are not alive? How do you guys deal and address those types of comments and that mindset?
Yeah, Heather McGee in her book, The Sum of Us, talks about zero-sum thinking. That is a byproduct of white supremacy and racism. And so this feeling, if I get something, you get, or if you get something, I lose something.
Yeah.
If you are made whole, I somehow lose, right?
And we're seeing that with the reverse of DEI, CRT, different things like that. They are like really kind of attacking any progress that is being made, especially when it comes to discrimination, when it comes to us not receiving equal shares of stuff. Even if you just think about the investment sector, like small businesses who are still at about a 0.2% of getting either contracts or investment funding and things like that. Like, how are we battling and how are we preparing ourselves to battle that?
Yeah, again, it's how white supremacy works. Sometimes you have friends that see you shining and doing this, and they dry hating on you. Like, it's like, look at her.
Just sitting there.
It looks like
that happened yesterday. Like, I'm tired.
But that's how it works, right? And so this zero-sum thinking, like, why can't you win?
Yeah.
And they win in another lane.
Yeah.
And racism creates this context where we think that two people can't win simultaneously.
Absolutely.
Like, somehow you winning is taken away. You don't even do what I do. How am I taking away?
And that, I hear that especially in the city of Boston. We always hear that Boston is like a crabs in the barrel type city. Like nobody wants to collaborate. Everybody wants to do everything separate, and everything wants to be better. And you can do good as long as you're not doing better than me.
Yes.
So yeah.
And that is, and so you can imagine that on scaled out, right? And so and again, it's a part of white supremacy replacement theory. And so replacement theory is if this person gets something, that means I lose something. And so we saw that in the Buffalo shooting where that white guy drove 2.5 hours and killed all those black folks in the grocery store,
which is crazy
because he thought he didn't even live in Buffalo. And so I think like replacement theory is a component of white supremacy. It's embedded in. I mean, we live in the society, and so it's on our skins too, right? And so we unfortunately, as black people and brown people, also get sprayed by that, and sometimes enact on that. And so I think that is one of the things that we have to combat when it comes to reparations. It is okay that descendants of formerly enslaved people get made whole first. Period.
Pamela, she just said a win for us, a win for any of us is a win for all of us. And I agree with that because you would think that some people would understand that if we would get reparations, that would improve our value of living, and that would also go around everywhere.
Because we spend a lot, like once we got it, I think that we do take care of each other for the most part. So it is sad to see all of the pushback that we're getting for things that are deserved, things that have been very unequal for a long time. And like you said, just because we're taking leadership roles in it, and just because we're moving the needle forward doesn't mean that we should be attacked for it. So like the work that you guys are doing is important.
Thank you.
This harm report, I'm looking through it. It's many pages of research and data and information, and if you guys have time, or if you should make some time to just kind of read through it, Tristan has put it in the comment section so that you can see it and that you can read it for yourself, or you can go on embraceboss.org?
Embraceboston.org.
Yeah, embraceboston.org, where you can find out more information and join their newsletter to find out when these things are hitting and other research projects that they have done. Just to name a few before we start wrapping it up, what other research projects have you guys conducted?
Yeah, the next one that we're working on is around space.
Okay.
And so one of the things that
like open space,
just in space,
in general,
in space, right? The impact of space on building belonging community.
Oh, so yes.
We had a couple of our team members go to Oakland for the Black Joy Festival, right? And so there's some research on how festivals like the Black Joy Festival has impact black belonging in the city. And so we're trying to find out how has space, sometimes it's temporary space, sometimes it's permanent space, impacted belonging for black folks here in our community. So that is the next piece of research. Our research roughly comes out during Black History Month every year, so we try to put a new piece of research in the world. But it's also asset based. There's enough stories around black misery, black failure, black hurt, black pain. And so despite the harms, our research is, how do black people still thrive, right? And so that is the focus of our research, right? Like if we can amplify and put more into black thriving, black success, then everybody benefits, right? If black people succeed, everybody succeeds. We are literally the scale of success. We're the canary in the coal miners, right? And so and I think that's important to us. And that's part of the narrative shift. Like we got to see images of black folks being successful.
I think that's very important because we're always talking about that too, and that's a really great way to end. It's important to see black people succeed and black people get the things that they deserve, because it's inspirational and it is motivational to other black people who are thriving for that. That's why it's important to have people like you and Greg, doing the work, making sure that we are informed, educated, we know what's happening, and that you guys also follow up with some really cool events. Fun. You make research and history and data sexy for people to consume, and that's what they want. People don't want to just sit down and read things. Even the impact report, as I'm looking at it, is beautiful. You just want to kind of scroll and look at all the things. So they've made it very fun. They've made it really cool for people to be able to consume it. Go onto their website. Tristan again has posted it in the comment section, or for you guys that are listening on the radio aspect of it, go to embraceboston.org. Sign up for their newsletter, read some great things on there, some wonderful pictures, a nice website.
What's next for you guys?
The next thing that we're queuing up is the Embrace Ideas Festival on Juneteenth. And so, we always like to celebrate Juneteenth with Black ideas, Black music, Black joy, Black love. And so Embrace Ideas Festival during Juneteenth and the block party that occurs on the Friday of Juneteenth week.
That's so one of my faves. I go there, get me a nice T-shirt.
Where will those be? Just for people who
this year, it'll be in close proximity to the Embrace, and so we're partnering with Downtown Bid to have the block party downtown.
Oh, wow.
The Embrace Ideas Festival. In prior years, they've been all over the place, so we've tried to locate each day somewhere else. So this year, it'll also be downtown. And so
that's good. So it's like a little roving festival. It was first in Nubian. And down Nubian, and then last year was at RCC, the festival, and then this year it'll be downtown. This is great. I love the movie festival.
We had hoped it would be in Roxbury this year, but because we thought the Blair lot would be under construction, and I think with everything it's been delayed. So we had to plan to move it because Blair lot should have been under construction this year. But hopefully we'll see some cranes there next year, and the GRAC will be on its way.
Downtown is cool. It's always fun to get a little black folk down.
Mix it up a little bit. Put a little seasoning on it. With that said, Dr. Amari, thank you so much for joining us today again. This shouldn't be the last time that we speak to you guys. Please tap us in. Let us know what you guys need. Promotions, anything like that. We are here. And it's important for you guys to show up, even in these spaces, to let this community know what is going on. We have lots of people tuned in today, both on the radio and streaming. So thank you guys for staying around and joining us, and for your wonderful questions and comments. But we're going to go to a quick commercial break. Again, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. Congratulations on all your success.
Thank you very much.
I'm proud of y'all.
With that said, people, we're going to go to another quick commercial break, and we'll come back. We'll get into our world and national news. Keep it locked right here. Saucy and Friends in the Morning. Spark FM Online.
You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the Morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz.
Let's start with the big question.
The all-new Spark FM.
Massachusetts Social Equity Program creates pathways into the cannabis industry for those most harmed by the war on drugs. The Cannabis Control Commission offers free education and tools to navigate the legal marketplace, including focused training and support on entrepreneurship, management, entry-level employment, and ancillary vendor support. To apply, visit masscannabiscontrol.com/equity. That's MASS cannabiscontrol.com/equity.
JP Morgan Chase is making a global commitment to break down barriers to drive inclusive economic growth all over the world. We believe there is a pressing need to help more people move up the economic ladder. That is why we are investing in communities and people to create an economy that works for all, because no community should be left behind. Right here in Boston, we're focusing that work in Dorchester, Roxbury, and Mattapan, among other neighborhoods, on improving financial health. These efforts aim to address the key drivers of the racial wealth divide head on. We're here to empower individuals, families, and small businesses by connecting them to the tools that build generational wealth and a long-lasting legacy. Chase is investing in Boston. Chase is investing in you. Visit us at the Mattapan branch at 1617 Blue Hill Avenue, where the team is waiting to help.
Finally Home is a must-read step-by-step guide that will equip any first-time homebuyer with the knowledge they need to confidently make informed decisions. This book provides answers in simple and clear terms to most, if not all, of the questions you may have about credit, home ownership, and generational wealth. Finally Home equips the reader with the confidence to be engaged with the home buying process without feeling vulnerable or exploited. Tailor-made Real Estate Easy is not just a catchy hashtag. It is real estate agent and radio personality Taylor Andre's goal. A goal to simplify one of the most challenging processes you will go through as an adult. A goal to educate you properly on credit and teach you the strategies to finding the home of your dream. It is not just a good book or an easy read. It is the secret to a seamless home buying experience.
Want to give your baby a head start? Get the best protection against flu and COVID-19. Because their immune system isn't fully developed at birth, babies need additional protection. When you get vaccinated while pregnant, it can keep you and your baby from getting sick. As they get older, this can result in more time in school and daycare for them, and more productive time at work for you. Vaccines are safe and effective for children as they grow. No matter where you are on your pregnancy journey, flu and COVID vaccines can boost your and your baby's natural defenses and protect your family. Stay up to date with your vaccines. Stay healthy. Talk with your trusted healthcare provider today. Brought to you by the Boston Public Health.
Boston's new home for urban Caribbean music. Spark FM. Spark FM. Playing all your favorite hits from reggae. Spark FM.
If you no mess with the way you are gonna see a million. We got it gon' go long just like the Amazon.
Spark FM.
I know that life is not easy. No say we are for win. Walk with the camera like Jesus.
Soca. Hip hop.
Yeah, we on and we going crazy.
R&B.
You could do damage. You could do damage.
Afrobeats and much more. Spark FM. Spark FM.
One thing to kill you, so what? Leave me limit dead. I don't give up. I thought about getting one as long as one in my head. They say too much. One thing to kill you, so what? Everybody had a dead. Don't let it until you try it. Love sweet, love sweet. Don't wake me if I'm dreaming. Love sweet, love sweet. I go cry if I don't get me rum for sure. Next thing you know, they call me name on the radio. They put me name in the group chat.
You're listening to Spark FM online.
And we're back. Spark FM online, #1 for urban and Caribbean music. Boy, I am sleepy. It's the rain. Just looking outside, it just looked like go to bed. That's what it looks like.
It looks go lie down.
Before we go into it, we want to give a quick update to. I don't see the story, girl.
It's in the local.
Oh, the two girls.
Yeah, missing High Park twins found.
Oh, sorry. I couldn't. Boy, I'm reading. I was reading so hard. Spark FM Online, #1 for urban and Caribbean music. We're back. Missing Hyde, quick update. A lot of people have been wondering what's been going on with this story. So, update: missing Hyde Park twins found. These are two little light boys with the pretty eyes and the beautiful hair. Police in Boston say twin 12-year-old boys missing since last month have been found. The twins, who live in Hyde Park, had last been seen on March 19th. The Boston Police Department said Wednesday that the twins have been located. They gave no further details. The two boys left their home on March 19th while the Department of Children and Families worker was there to take them into state custody. According to a police report, they've been living with their father in Hyde Park, but also staying with other relatives, and police have said that they may be in Dorchester. When the social worker arrived at the home, the children went into their room to get some of their things, but left after the father went and spoke to them. According to the worker's account in the police report, it wasn't immediately clear what the family members discussed. A representative for the Department of Children and Families told NBC 10 Boston early in the search that they were investigating and helping law enforcement find the boys. The father was available for comment on the situation in the first few days of the research. So what I think happened is that they said that the mother had recently passed, right? Did you read that? Yeah,
no.
The mother of the babies had recently passed, and that DCF was coming to take the children. I'm not sure how true that is. This is from what I've been reading in the comments and whatever. So do not fact check me on me or fact check. And then, so when DCF came, they were living with the father, and I guess they were, sleeping around in different relatives' homes because they got a family. DCF came to take the boys into state custody. Apparently, the aunt had asked for custody of them and was not granted custody of them.
And why couldn't the father take them?
So this is what I don't know. So we might have to do some little internal research to find out what actually happened. Yeah, a little Spark investigates, because when I heard that the father went in there and spoke to them and then they left, I wasn't necessarily upset about it because I felt like he told them to go somewhere and they were safe. I'm not sure why they would be taking the children from the father's custody or not giving the children to the next of kin, which would probably be the aunt. So, from horror stories that we've heard, it's not always great to end up in the system. They could end up separated. They can end up whatever. And I don't think that's right. So we don't know.
That would be tragic if they separate. The two little boys look
They look exactly alike.
It's the same child.
Exactly.
That's great.
In those situations, I feel like you should never, ever, you should do everything possible to keep them boys together. And we know from DCF, not all of them or not every situation, that a lot of the times these children go into custody and they get separated from their siblings, and then it just goes downhill from that. So we'll be following the story, updating you guys when we get more information. But now it's time for our national and world news. Miss Tony, what you got for us?
We got some. What do we have in the national news? A man pleads guilty to the theft of a solid gold toilet worth $6 million.
Wait, say it one more time.
That's how we're going to start it out.
Say it one more time.
A man pleads guilty to the theft of a solid gold toilet worth $6 million from Blenheim Palace.
I mean, if I was going to poop on a solid gold toilet, I think I might try to steal it as well.
Do you think that people would poop on this toilet? I don't think that this toilet is for pooping.
It's fully functional.
It's functional.
It's fully functional. I just want a piece of it.
A man has pleaded guilty to stealing a toilet made entirely from 18-karat gold and worth more than $6 million from the English stately home where wartime leader Winston Churchill was born.
I want to show this picture before you keep going on.
Of the toilet?
Yes, because if I had a solid gold toilet, it would not be regular paper towels on this, regular tissue. It would have to be, I don't know. It would have to be some, it would be a toilet paper in the dollar bill design, because it just looks weird. There's little little regular piece of toilet
they
paper.
had to have like gold flecks in the toilet
or
paper.
or a little stand next to it with the toilet paper already folded in four. You know, like it's sitting
It would
there.
have to be wipes.
Yeah, wipes.
Cloths.
Washcloth.
Yeah,
Yes.
something like that.
But go ahead.
So James Sheen, 39, pleaded guilty to burglary, converting or transferring criminal property, and conspiracy to do the same at Oxford Crown Court on Tuesday. The fully functioning toilet was installed at Blenheim Palace in 2019 as part of an exhibition by Italian artist Maurizio Catalan called "Victory is Not an Option." The unusual artwork, titled "America," was stolen in September of 2019 of that year, just days after the exhibition opened. It had been plumbed into the building, so the theft also caused significant damage and flooding, police reported at the time. Sheen appeared at court via video link from Five Wells Prison, where he's serving a 17-year sentence for various thefts. Among others, he is serving time for stealing tractors and high-volume trophies from the National Horse Racing Museum in Newmarket, worth approximately $503,000. America first went on display at the Guggenheim in New York City in 2016. It made headlines again in 2017 after U.S. President Donald Trump's White House emailed the Guggenheim asking to borrow Vincent van Gogh's 1888 painting, Landscape with Snow. Instead, the institution curator offered the toilet. They wanted to borrow the thing, and instead they were like, no, you can have this toilet.
This is crazy to me. Why would I borrow somebody's toilet? That's nasty.
Well, he wanted to borrow the painting.
Oh.
And they were like, no, Donald Trump, you can't have the painting. You can borrow this toilet.
Borrow this toilet.
Because you're a
shit show.
Shithead. At Blenheim Palace, the toilet was installed in a room next to one in which Churchill was born. A statement announcing the exhibition said the work could be perceived as a comment on the social, political, and economical disparities in the United States. Commenting on the work, Catalan previously told The New Yorker, whatever you eat, a $200 lunch or a $2 hot dog, the results are the same toilet-wise. He also described the work as 1% art for the 99%. All right, you go. He was making a political statement.
That's why he gave it the time. That's why he said, try to take
a
it.
1% art for the 99%. And I get it. Wow. Named the Golden Toilet America.
Would you guys want to poop on that?
No.
I just want a piece of it, literally. Give me a chunk. A $6 million toilet. Why that man was still stealing?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't.
What he was still stealing
the
for?
toilet was the last thing he stole.
Oh.
He stole all the other things before.
Sir, that should have been the first thing.
That should have been the first thing.
Right.
That would have been the most. I mean, but if he stole it first, that's been the most significant because it's like, where'd the toilet go?
Yeah.
I got everybody.
Toilet.
Yeah. I don't. There should not be a $6 million toilet because for what? It's like it receives poop.
Yeah.
It receives doo-doo.
Yeah.
That's nasty. And pee-pee.
Mm-hmm. Botswana now has threatened to send 20,000 elephants to Germany in trophy hunting row. What does this mean?
What does that mean?
No.
President Mogwisi Masi voices anger over Berlin's opposition of the import of trophies over poaching concerns. Botswana's president has threatened to send 20,000 elephants to Germany amid a dispute over the import of hunting trophies. Earlier this year, Germany's Environment Ministry raised the possibility of stricter limits on the import of hunting trophies over poaching concerns, but a ban on the import of hunting trophies would only impoverish Botswanans. Sorry, the African leader argued that conservation efforts have led to an explosion in the number of elephants and that hunting is an important means to keep them in check. Botswana banned trophy hunting in 2014, but lifted the restriction in 2019 under pressure from local communities. The country now issues animal hunting quotas. So there's an influx of elephants?
Yeah, I have the.
And then how do you get them there?
Yeah.
Not a common weapon to threaten someone with, but the president of Botswana says that he will send 20,000 elephants to roam free across Germany over a proposed law. Germany wants to ban hunters from bringing animal trophies back from Africa, but Botswana, which is home to a third of the world's elephants, says it actually relies on those German hunters to help them keep the animal's population in check.
Oh, no.
Oh.
That's so crazy. I was watching some movie the other day.
Y'all better leave the elephants
with
alone.
some elephants that they let roam free somewhere, and they were walking all through some. What movie was?
I know what you're talking about.
The movie. The
Which
movie.
one?
With the girl, the crazy movie.
Was that?
Yeah, it was that movie. What is the name of that movie? The movie that was nominated with the girl, the crazy movie.
Girl.
50 Shades of Black.
Yeah, no.
Strange Things, Poor Things.
Poor
Things, yes.
And they had a part in the movie where these elephants, this family of elephants, had just went roaming about and like walking through cities and all kinds of stuff. This family of elephants, but I don't know why that. Well, it made me think of it because it was elephants. But imagine that they're just gonna. I will send elephants to destroy your.
But not a couple. 20,000 elements.
How are you gonna get them there?
This is my only question. How the hell are you going to get the 20,000 elephants over there?
I will send elephants to destroy your country. That's how he said that. Just like that. Market Basket is to pay more than $134,000 in an age discrimination lawsuit. Market Basket now, don't make me
Market
upset.
Basket. Can we go to Market Basket?
Go to Market Basket.
By the way, Stop and Shop has eggs, Lando Lake eggs, 2 for $5.
Ooh, girl, that's a steal.
Girl, I almost bought all the eggs out of Stop and Shop yesterday.
No, dead ass. Can we go to Market Basket? Because what Market Basket got? Market Basket got them all ready-made meats.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes you get a little meat wheel.
Oh, that little meat wheel.
A little meat wheel is nice.
We went shopping in the Market Basket in the early days of the pandemic. We racked up.
We had a little.
I like Market Basket. I used to drive from Boston to Brockton just for the Market
There's
Basket.
one in Somerville.
There's one.
Yeah. I'm gonna go to it.
Medford.
Cause I need some things to fill my refrigerator because I don't want to go outside no more.
I got eggs and orange juice yesterday. Little Lando Lakes butter was on sale. Listen, you got to go in and Stop and Shop.
You got a coupon?
No, all you have to do is put in your phone number. You know they give you a coupon.
Second of all, that's another thing. Do y'all say coupon or coupon?
Coupon.
I say
coupon. I think I do say coupon.
You coupon.
Oh, I got a coupon.
You got a coupon?
Coupon.
You don't say coupon.
You don't say no damn coupon.
I don't say coupon. Coupon.
You sure you don't say coupon? Say it quick.
Coupon.
Use it in a sentence.
I got a coupon.
You said coupon.
Coupon.
Sorry.
Okay, because we say I get one coupon in the mail.
One coupon.
One coupon.
If you're speaking in an accent, you're gonna say coupon.
Yeah.
But if you're saying regular, if you're speaking American,
I think if I was talking, I would be like, oh, and I got a coupon in the mail.
Yeah, coupon.
Yeah, coupon.
Yeah. Sorry.
Market Basket apparently has lobsters for $5.99 a pound. I don't know. That's what it says there.
See?
Yep. A New Hampshire man was awarded more than $134,000 in lost wages and damages after a jury ruled in his favor in a federal case that claimed a Market Basket discriminated against him because of his age. The jury found that Demoulas Supermarkets Incorporated, the owners of the New England-based Market Basket. Oh, Demoulas owns Market. Oh, okay.
Who's Demoula?
I always heard about Demoulas before, which violated the Federal Age Discrimination and Employment Act and the New Hampshire law against discrimination when they promoted younger employees instead of a long-time employee in his 50s. Oh, you got to be careful. Rodney Martinez is set to receive $80,000 in lost wages, compensatory damages, and enhanced compensatory damages. He was also awarded $54,749 in liquidated damages, the same amount determined to have been lost in wages. And that's right. Give that man his money.
Give him his money.
That's not right.
That is not right at all.
Right.
I don't like that.
Don't age discriminate against him. He's been a loyal employee, and just because he's 50 plus doesn't mean that he can't do anything.
Exactly.
Us 50-year-olds can do things.
Oh wow. Us 50-year-olds.
Us 50 years old is able. My knees have been so bad in this wet weather. I was like, oh no, I'm gonna need a kneeotomy because I don't know what's happening with these knees. It's awful.
That's how my neck feel. I woke up with a crook in my neck. It was freaking freezing last night.
I had to turn the heat up.
Me too.
I had to turn the heat up, and then the heat was too hot, so that I had to
get up and find our weighted blanket because I was like, oh no, it's too cold. It's too cold.
Yeah, man.
Boy, come here.
A missing woman was found dead a month after calling 911.
Oh, that's a terrible response time.
That is awful. She called 911 with her exact coordinates. A California woman was found dead in an Arizona desert more than a month after she disappeared, despite the fact that she called 911 and had given her dispatcher her coordinates. What's her name on 911 would never do that. She would have gotten her so quick.
Yeah, she would have.
She would have gotten her.
She would have
so
knew
quick.
exactly what to do too.
That's so crazy. Amanda Nenegar, 26, who was reported missing on February 28th, was discovered undressed underneath a tree in the desert on Friday around 7:30 p.m.
Undressed.
The La Paz County Sheriff's Office confirmed in an announcement over the weekend that Nenegar's family had been notified and requested privacy. Nenegar called 911 for help, according to portions of the call posted by Nenegar's sister on Facebook and reviewed by the Huffington Post. In the call, which was routed to a nearby California Highway Patrol office, she told the dispatcher she was tired and had tried to pull her car over, but ran off the road instead. Asked where she was, Nenegar began describing her surroundings. I'm kind of stuck in a valley. She told the dispatcher, I see trees, I see possibly canal. She said she believes she had only been out in the desert for a day, according to the clipped audio. Everybody is probably worried sick about me, she said. The dispatcher instructed her to find her location using Google Maps, and she gave them her coordinates. But law enforcement ended up looking for her in a completely different location, some 30 to 40 miles away from where her body was eventually found.
Wow.
Her car was discovered on March 7th just outside Cibola, Arizona. Her body was ultimately found about a mile and a half away from her car.
Terrible.
We believe she went under the tree to try to get some shelter from the elements. As you may know, it gets hot in the Arizona desert. Her clothes were strewn along the path that we believe she took prior to making it to the tree, where she ended up passing.
Oh man,
that is
awful.
That is
awful,
absolutely the awfulest.
They said her sister says she did not have to die like this. If they would have listened to her 911 call and wrote down the coordinates again, she would still be here with us. She would still be alive. Her daughters wouldn't be without a mother.
And that's just not fair.
It's awful.
That's not fair.
Yeah.
Sue them. That's just negligence. That's just
crazy.
How you gonna write down? She gave them the correct coordinates and they wrote down the incorrect ones.
They wrote down the incorrect ones and
that seems purposeful to me too, and that seems lazy. That's what it is. It's very lazy.
A mile and a half from her car.
Don't make no daggone sense.
And then this very last thing. Video shows Tallahassee police officer planting evidence during a DUI arrest. Calvin Riley Sr.'s routine traffic stop becomes a legal nightmare. Video shows TPD officer Oliver pouring out a sealed bottle of liquor and tossing it in Riley's passenger seat before arresting him for DUI.
Oh man!
Before arresting, on a balmy night in Tallahassee, what began as a routine traffic stop for Calvin Riley driving his white Mercedes-Benz on South Monroe quickly descended into a legal nightmare. Allegations of evidence planting by the Tallahassee Police Department have thrown a spotlight on the thin line between law enforcement and law breaking.
How many times this got to keep on happening before something? I don't know what they can do about it. But this is. I don't want to watch. I watch it, but it's 2 minutes long. Is there audio to this too?
I can, as you play it, I can read what happened.
Yeah.
The police stop initiated by a white 26-year-old recruit of the department would zigzag several potential legal avenues for police to arrest Riley. Ultimately, after planting evidence of an empty liquor bottle in his car,
okay,
they would arrest him for driving under the influence and driving with a suspended license. Riley says the night nearly ruined his life. Calvin Riley Sr., 56, who goes by Riley, grew up in Tallahassee's South City apartment complex. He spent years with his mother in Meadows Mobile Home Park in the late 80s. In body-worn camera footage from the traffic stop, Riley wears his work clothes, a barber's button-down with an electric razor on the back. His shirt says Riley in large red embroidered letters. Tallahassee Police Department officer Kirsten Oliver approached behind his vehicle, turned on her lights, and pulled him over. At just 26 years old, Oliver is one of the new recruits to the department under TPD's Chief Lawrence Revel's aggressive recruitment strategy. After initially stopping Riley and getting his information, Oliver calls in backup and discusses the particulars with Officer Margaret Muth, who arrived on the scene. Oliver asks Muth to contact Riley under the pretext of verifying his address to check if she thinks he is under the influence of something. I feel like I'm getting some indications. I'm not really sure. I can't really smell anything right now, Oliver says to Muth, indicating that her sense of smell was diminished.
Can I
911?
Can I say something? He didn't know he had on a body camera?
It's a woman.
The woman, she didn't know that she had on a body camera? And while we are seeing you doing what you doing, bro. Like you opening the can and just gonna throw it in the bottle and gonna dump some out and then gonna let it out. Yeah. Don't he gotta pass a breathalyzer too?
Yeah. Oliver says in comments captured by her body-worn camera, tells Riley that he smells like marijuana.
Hold on, let's go to the.
Okay.
Yep. I see it right.
With his suspended license, they can search his car. Riley, they ask him if he smoked any marijuana.
Mr. Riley, I got a quick question for you. No problem. So I smelled marijuana in your vehicle. Did you recently smell?
No. Once he's arrested for driving with a suspended license, they can search his car. Officer Oliver leaves the car, does a 360, and then goes back in the car, retrieving a sealed liquor bottle and pours it out. That was the sound of the seal.
Yeah, the seal.
That is the sound of it.
Here's
being
another
poured.
angle. While Officer Muth questions Riley about marijuana again,
Did somebody else smoke in your car earlier?
Oliver tosses the empty bottle into the passenger seat.
Wickedness.
They don't find any marijuana in the car. Here's Officer Oliver implying to Officer Muth that the empty bottle was likely what was in a cup in Riley's center console.
What? Where like the knee would sit, there's an opening, and he had it like, and then the whatever he had in his cup.
Then Officer Muth tells a senior officer that they found open alcohol in the car, in both a bottle and a cup.
Well, okay, so he had a bunch of
Oh no.
Nothing open or anything?
Yo. This is giving me anxiety.
Yo.
He had a mixed drink under his knee and had like a little bottle of
When
vodka
officers
tucked
group to discuss
away.
the case, they all ask each other if their body cameras are off.
Yo, I can't do this. This is too much.
Any evidence of that?
He asked her if her body camera was on.
Yeah.
She must have forgot.
Yeah,
The
you are
video
still
ends
on
at
the
this
video
point.
ends.
Riley's arrest report states, quote, a search of Riley's vehicle yielded a small bottle of vodka that was opened in a pocket in the driver's seat cover. Riley's case begins on Friday, April 5th in the Leon County Courthouse in Tallahassee.
That is wild.
I don't
lock her up.
I don't even know what to say because I'm that appalled. Not only are you wicked, but you're also stupid because your body camera was on and caught all of that. We saw all of it. We see your wickedness.
She's
I'm
stupid
upset
before she's wicked.
Yeah, I'm upset. Like
Yeah.
I'm upset because imagine if her body camera was actually off.
Right.
There would have been that makes me angry because you just never know. You never know.
And then you wonder why people don't trust the goddamn.
Yeah.
Which is awful.
Also in BMF last night, which was all of it. The whole BMF last night was a tragic.
So much.
The little boy, one thing that he said the people that are supposed to protect me are hurting me. And I thought that was such an insane line because I was like, oh my God. And then I got sad again and mad anxious because I was like, I'm raising a black man and I'm so scared and sorry for him. I'm just so sad
That's
about
how I felt
things.
that day when I saw them arresting the 15-year-old outside my house.
The little thief?
Right. So I'm getting out with Noah, and Noah's like, Mommy, they're arresting him. Noah's a little cummus man, so he loved it. He loved gossip. So, Mommy, they're arresting him. Film it and send it to Annie and Cookie. So record it, send it to Annie and Cookie. But I had to explain to him because I didn't know what the situation was. I just learned this week what it was, right? So I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe all these police are here to to arrest this one little boy, right? And so I had to like try to explain to Noah like, sometimes you gotta make sure that you're doing good because the police might think that you're not doing good, and then they have to do their job, and then it looks like this. You know what I mean? And then, as lo and behold, it turns out that this little boy had been robbing all these ambulances,
Robbing everybody.
Right. So it's so hard, but. I remember from the day that I found out that I was having a boy, this fear was in me for this black boy.
Absolutely.
And doesn't leave me. So it's crazy. That's despicable. It's awful. It's awful.
Awful.
And that's our last national story.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yep.
Oh wow! It's up against the clock. We are done here.
We're up against it.
Let me just, while we wait for Bobby, real quick. Cardi B and Ice Spice had a little back and forth yesterday on their timeline. I'm not sure what it's about. I don't have time to read it all in kindness, but they've been subbing and doing weird things for a little while now. Really? Kanye West wanted a jail at his school. Students head shape. You guys were talking about this yesterday. I was listening to it, and I was like, first of all, I would not be sending my child to a Kanye West school. I would not be allowed anybody to shave my child's head, and they would not be using satanic uniforms in order to learn their lessons.
Or being
it's just
locked
not
in cages.
That's clout, though. That's people who put their children in those kind of schools is only doing it for clout because you want to tell people that your child go to Kanye West school.
Or you want to have a reason to sue Kanye West down the line.
That would be my reason. Chance the Rapper and his wife amicably call it quits after 5 years. The headlines for this was hilarious. They was like, 1 year after Jamaica Carnival, the husband and wife call it quits. They didn't call it quits over Carnival, you uncultured swine. They called it quits because they probably couldn't get their lives right. All right.
Exactly. It's because he was whining up on.
He was whining before.
But she remember she did post that whole thing right after that. Like some people never grow up. Yeah. Da 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 da. So maybe she been holding on. You know, like Amari just said. Why are you bringing up old stuff? She probably has been holding that over him. Oh, but you was out there shaking up in Carnival.
Exactly.
Oh,
got that naked.
You couldn't bring home no milk, but you could be out there shaking up in Carnival.
Same. Multiple Diddy documentaries are in the works following the federal raids. I was listening to you guys yesterday too. So Diddy is 50 Cent and Diddy situation. 50 Cent is he was trolling him saying that Ciroc now is asking him to take over the Ciroc brand after Diddy's situation. So that was from Media Takeout, which is a highly gossip blog. So I don't know what kind of truth to that is, but they're not mad at each other over 50 dealing with the baby mama. They had been broken up long time ago before Diddy. It was something. That was long time. I think it was like at one of his parties at stuff like Diddy acting weird.
It was over Mace. It was over Mace. 50 Cent was trying to sign Mace, and Puffy wanted to charge $52 million. That's what it initially started.
Oh, really? Yeah.
That's what it was, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yep. But
has Mace said anything about any of this stuff that's going on?
Him and Cameron got their show. He's been saying little things.
He's been saying little things.
Yeah, right
I know
here.
A lot of people have been like, where's Farnsworth Bentley?
Where is Farnsworth Bentley?
I don't know.
Very interesting.
He's hiding in Diddy's
in his dungeon. So I'm interested in seeing the documentaries. I'm gonna watch them.
You know they arrested Christian Combs yesterday. They didn't arrest him. He got charged.
Yes.
He was charged
with some sexual assault or something, right?
Yeah.
Somebody came for the one that looked just like Diddy. Yeah.
Is that the
King Combs? Yep, that one.
Just like your pappy.
Oh, I saw a headline yesterday that's saying that R. Kelly was speaking out about the Diddy situation.
What R. Kelly got to say?
Now, 2 days ago, now R. Kelly is speaking out about Diddy allegations. Not sure.
R. Kelly is speaking?
R. Kelly.
Oh, God.
R. Kelly.
What he say?
Even though he's currently locked up, R. Kelly is sharing his thoughts about Diddy and the federal sex trafficking investigation. Speaking to WAC 100 in a phone call interview last week, per audio footage that was recently made public, R. Kelly revealed that he didn't believe any of the allegations lobbed against the bad boy module.
Jesus Christ.
He also condemned those making fun of the situation and warned that those very same people could find themselves in peril of their own soon. The shit is crazy. Mother effers out there laughing and making comedian jokes and doing all the other ish on the radio and everything else, but they ass could be next, Kelly explained. That's why that's so effed up about it. They so stupid they don't even realize the move that's going on. He continued, that's why I don't believe none of that ish. You could tell me about Puffy, you could about anybody in there. You could tell me on the news, the weather, the sky is blue. I'm not gonna believe that the ish, cause I'm in it now and I know what they did. That's what
R. Kelly, you need to mind your business.
He's not someone I would want to speak on my behalf.
Me either. Because now that R. Kelly is speaking up about it, now I feel it's true. I just want the record to reflect that if R. Kelly, who has been convicted for about 90 years for things that he's still saying that he didn't do, and he want to come to the aid of P. Diddy,
right?
That's crazy.
And then to say, I don't believe Diddy did any of those things.
Yeah. That's pretty much a nail in Diddy's coffin.
Yeah.
If R. Kelly is out here saying that you didn't do it, boy, Diddy did it. Diddy did it. And that's terrible.
That's no Diddy. That is Diddy.
It says that Christian Combs is reportedly set to be named in a lawsuit of his own after being accused of allegedly SA and drugging a woman.
Oh, no.
Oh, Father.
That's awful.
That is Father.
The sins of the father fall on the son. That's awful.
Boy, we will keep y'all updated with all of this. What did Larry say?
When the tables will turn. What a day when the tables will turn.
So I guess R. Kelly didn't piss on that girl. Did he done it? No, did he? LOL. Yeah, that's terrible. That is terrible. We're going to slide on over to the side now because Bobby Steels is up next with the Bobby Steels Show. Keep it locked right here. Spark FM Online, #1 for urban and Caribbean music. It's Friday tomorrow, people, so we'll see you bright and early. Boy.
You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz.
Let's start with the big question.
The all-new Spark FM.
Massachusetts Social Equity Program creates pathways into the cannabis industry for those most harmed.